This is Peterborough's Parkway. Or at least, it's supposed to be.
According to city planners, from 1947. 70 years have passed since plans started to build this big north-south road going through Peterborough. And while some parts of it have been built, most of it's like this, grassy trail.
Peterborough needs the Parkway, or some other kind of alternative, but at this point I don't know if this big road is ever going to get built. So the Parkway was envisioned in the 1950s for people going to and from the city's north end, while avoiding the west end.
The city purchased the land and cleared it, and portions have been built, like this part going from Clysdale Avenue to Highway 115. But for the most part, it's still like this, grassy footpath.
And if there's a key reason for the delays, it's the divided community. The city has never fully agreed whether they want to see it built, and that's created a battle that's lasted decades. A 2003 referendum gave people their say, but because of a low voter turnout, the results were non-binding. The Parkway got shelved, but was never removed from the city's official plan.
There was some movement along the Parkway in 2011. A hospital access road was needing to be built, so city staff gave council an option to connect this portion to the existing southern portion. That would essentially complete a large part of the southern link. But council opted not to, putting time and money into investigating alternatives. And here we are now, without the Parkway or alternatives.
In 2013, a controversial addition was added, a bridge over Jackson Park, the city's largest park space.
Parkway opponents and green space advocates weren't really thrilled with the idea of building a giant road over the city's centerpiece park. At one public meeting, nearly 50 people spoke to the issue, and only 2 were in favor of the bridge. But the city approved the plan, and took its environmental assessment to the Ministry of the Environment. But 88 letters were also sent by concerned citizens and advocacy groups, opposing the decision.
And so, after reading the 88 letters, the ministry said no, and it issued an order saying another extensive study was needed before the city could build the Parkway. Or alternatives.
An appeal to the ministry, including the removal of the bridge, didn't pan out. City staff say the environmental assessment they're being asked to do could cost $6 million and take years to complete.
So the city can't build the Parkway, not without doing this time-consuming and expensive study. But there's some key words in the ministry's order that's holding up this council. And that's because the order prevents the city from investing in alternative solutions for that north-south transportation corridor, not without doing its own studies on that as well.
Council can't even remove the Parkway from the official plan, even though it seems to want to. The city has a series of transportation studies underway, and while that information will help, it's going to take time.
And by the time they're done, Peterborough will have a new council who may have their own ideas on whether to build the Parkway. That's the dance that's played out over 70 years. Each time a council gets close, there's a sharp delay, an election happens, and progress is reset.
We're stuck with a road which we cannot build, that council doesn't want, and when we have the chance to get rid of it, maybe whoever's in charge will actually decide that they want it. And that's why the Parkway likely won't ever get built. The city needs something in the face of oncoming growth. And while it might not be the Parkway, it needs to be something, and it needs to happen now.